God must be hateful to let such bad things happen. God must really like to see humans suffer. If there is a God, I don't want to follow him. Look at the awful things he lets happen to good people. God allows bad things to happen to good people for specific reasons. As a more or less good person who has experienced trauma and trials in life, I have studied this topic in depth and gained significant insight on the matter. Understanding God's purpose and giving a free hand to those who would do ill to others is key in developing a good relationship with him and helping others to do the same. God must allow bad things to happen to good people for 3 specific reasons. It allows us to exercise our agency. It allows commission or omission of acts so that he may hold those responsible accountable. And it gives us an opportunity to turn to him. We will first address the point regarding our own agency. The exercise of our agency is a necessary part of life, and God can't interfere with it. Thus, although there are consequences, we are free to choose to do bad things to others. Elder D. Todd Christofferson explained it thus: "It is his plan and his will that we have the principal decision-making role in our own life's drama." The plan to which Elder Christofferson refers is the plan of salvation. This plan was created to allow us to come to earth, receive bodies, and gain necessary experience to develop into perfect beings. The crux of that plan is the ability and the necessity of the free exercise of agency. We are free to choose, but we are not free from the consequences of our choices. Although God loves each of his children, he does not tolerate sin. Those who are guilty of wrongdoing will be held responsible. Since each of us is held accountable only for that which we do, God cannot intervene when bad things are about to happen. Otherwise, no one could ever be punished for their malicious actions, because they would never be able to enact them. Doctrine and Covenants, section 101, verse 78 states, "That every man may act according to the moral agency which I have given unto him, that every man may be accountable for his own sins in the day of judgment." While it may seem that the good are being punished, all things will be made equal in eternity. Those who have suffered abuses and wrongdoings will be rewarded for their endurance. In his talk, Healing the Tragic Scars of Abuse, Elder Richard G. Scott offers the following words of comfort: "Whatever they do, eventually the guilty will face the perfect judge. Ultimately, the unrepentant abuser will be punished by a just God." These 2 points deal mainly with the harm humans do themselves and each other. What about when there is no particular aggressor? What about natural disasters, disease, daily hardship? This brings us to our final point. These kinds of sufferings allow us opportunities to turn to God. The entire book of Job is an example of this principle. Job was a righteous man who had always been faithful. He suddenly found himself destitute, bereft of home and health, and afflicted with a doubtful and sinful family. He endured his trials with little complaining and notably never doubting his faith. He grew to understand the Lord, respect him deeply, and love him wholly. In the end, he and the Lord converse with one another honestly and intimately, and Job is blessed. Chapter 42 details these blessings, which include more property, children, and years of life than he could ever have dreamt of before. Verse 12 says, "So the Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning." In the Songs They Could Not Sing, Elder Quentin L. Cook perfectly summarized this point. Adverse results in this mortal life are not evidence of lack of faith or of an imperfection in our Father in Heaven's overall plan. The refiner's fire is real, and qualities of character and righteousness that are forged in the furnace of affliction perfect and purify us and prepare us to meet God. As you can see, God is not hateful, nor does he enjoy the suffering of his children. Because he has specific purposes in mind, he allows bad things to happen to good people. This provides opportunities for growth, accountability, and connection. God is not some evil all-father whose puppets are humans. He is caring, clever, and constantly there to bring blessings and judgment. In order to remain on the level with eternal law, he must provide these opportunities, which sometimes means allowing bad things to happen to good people.